Free Tibet! Free Uyghurs! Down with Xi! Down with Xi! I thank you so much for having me here. I didn't think I was going to speak today. I'm here to speak about the terrible, terrible attack on the Manchester Chinese consulate. They dragged innocent Hong Kongers onto the grounds of the consulate, bashed them up. This is illegal behaviour. It is wrong. It is inhumane. We see that the Chinese government is getting out of control. They're going after Hong Kongers here in Britain. We call on the British government. They have to do more to protect Hong Kongers, Uyghurs, Tibetans. They have to do more to protect activists from this dictatorship that is increasingly threatening innocent people who are simply just trying to exercise their free speech, their democratic rights as any other British citizen should enjoy. I have to tell you a short story about what happened to me back in July, because the Chinese government's attacks on protesters here in Britain have been going on for months now. They're getting out of control. Back in July, I held a small protest outside the Chinese embassy. To get back at me, the Chinese embassy reported me to the Metropolitan Police as a terrorist. They created a fake bomb threat in my name. I was detained by the Metropolitan Police for 24 hours. I wasn't allowed to talk to a lawyer. I wasn't allowed to talk to the Australian High Commission. They stranded me here in London for 4 weeks. They told me that if I wasn't back here in London on October 18, that I would face an arrest warrant in my name. They're going after innocents now, and it's so sad because the Metropolitan Police seems to be doing the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party is using the openness of the British system, the openness of our democracies, and it's not just in Britain, it's happening in Australia as well, it's happening all across the world. It's happening in Australia, my home country. They're using the openness of our systems against us. They're using our liberal democracies against us. They're now turning our rights against us. And that's what I'm calling for people to stand against. And we're calling for government to stand against the Chinese Communist Party because we know the Hong Kongers knew this is a transnational criminal organisation. The Hong Kongers knew this. The Hong Kongers back in 2019, these young people protesting in the streets, they were right. They were more truthful to reality than all the think tank experts and the academics who said, keep trading with China, keep trading with China. What did we see yesterday? Xi Jinping has taken full control. Now he's the emperor for life. And the Hong Kongers back in 2019, they knew this. They knew what was happening. They knew the dark future that was down the road in front of us. And we should have learned. The world should have watched the Hong Kongers and learned. But unfortunately, the world was blind. And now this dictatorship has gone from strength to strength. Everyone here is a testament to that. People have lost their homes, lost their families. The Uyghurs are facing a genocide, more than 1 million in concentration camps. The Tibetans have faced cultural genocide for decades now. Hundreds have burned themselves alive in the streets of Tibet. If China is such an open society, why are Tibetans burning themselves alive in the street? We know this is one of the most brutal regimes on earth. The world should have watched you and listened to the Hong Kongers and the Tibetans and the Uyghurs. Then we would have known what was happening. But instead, we were too sleepy, we were greedy. The Western elites, unfortunately, they made too much money out of China, too much money in trade, and unfortunately we're now in this terrible situation where they're going after people in the streets of Manchester, they're going after Hong Kongers here in a democratic society. They put a bomb threat against my name, they started doing bomb threats against my brother and sister, my younger siblings. They're going after family members just like they do to the Uyghurs and the Tibetans and the Hong Kongers. This is what we're facing now. I wish the world had watched and listened to the Hong Kongers, because then maybe we wouldn't be in this terrible situation today. It's time for our governments to wake up, put an end to this brutality on our streets. Democracy has to be protected. If a Hong Konger and a Tibetan and a Uyghur cannot protest freely in a British street, then there is no democracy, there's no free speech in this society. So we have to stand up for the rights of the most vulnerable among us. Thank you for having me, thank you so much. And shout out to Khalid and Andrew. Every day they go out, these two young guys, a Jewish Muslim man, they protest every day outside the Chinese embassy. I hope more people can stand with them. We've got to all get together. The Tibetans, Uyghurs, Hong Kongers, the Ukrainians too, we're all in a struggle against dictatorship. Thank you everyone.